Alright, this is like take like 5. I don't know. But I'm Ray, and or GP, or Godly, whatever you want to call me. I'm here to show off an old version of Aggro, newer than the card game version that I did, but older than now. Because I'm working on another new version. I'll finish one of them eventually, hopefully. Um, but I spent 3 full months, like full-time work hours, from November 2012 to January of this year, 2013, and got a lot done. Um, it looks nice. It's polished and, well, not polished, but it's clean and feels kind of smooth, which is cool. And gave me a lot of motivation to keep working on it, but eventually I got busy with school. So I'm here to show this off because I'm working on a new build, completely new from bottom up version, and I needed to show the old version before I can talk more about the new version. So right now I'm doing what's called queuing up actions in Aggro. Um, in Aggro, you don't execute your moves right away for your pieces. You set up a queue, a list of things that you want to do, and then it's stored. So if you look on the right here, we have a queue for red team. We have the wizard will move and then chain lightning, the archer will move and then use range shot, and the warrior will move and then melee attack. And it's in that particular order because everybody has the same threat, and the things with the lowest health go first whenever there's a threat time. Threat determines your adrenaline in combat, your initiative, how fast you're moving and reacting to stuff. The more threat you build, the faster you go, but also the higher target you are, which you'll see in a bit. So if I hit confirm, I submit the red team's actions, and now the blue team gets to submit their actions. Normally they wouldn't be on the same screen, they'd be playing on the internet or something. So I'm going to move the warrior, attack with the warrior, and then I'm going to do what's called provoking the warrior, which will increase his threat, which means whenever something attacks, because he'll have the higher threat, everything will hit him instead of, say, your wizard or your archer, even if the wizard or archer was closer. And then the priest is going to pacify the rogue, so the rogue won't be a target after provoking the warrior. Because anytime you do an action, typically, you add threat to yourself, or to that piece, and they become more of a target. The more you do with a piece, the more of a target it becomes. Okay, so I've got my queue for blue team, which is all done. There's a pre-combat phase where certain actions get to go first before anybody can move or do stuff. Typically, it's threat-changing stuff. So all the actions are ready, see? So it says, and it queues up the 2 actions for pre-combat, which provokes the warrior. So now the rogue has 60 threat, the warrior has 50. Now the priest will pacify the rogue, where the rogue loses 50 threat, see the little particle effect. And then it goes into regular combat, where it queues up the rest of the actions and goes through them one at a time. And it queues them up in the order of the threat list in the top left. So the warrior went first because he had the most threat during combat, followed by the wizard, then the next wizard, then the archer, and then the other warrior. So, see those red squares? That's the area of attack. The enemy with the highest threat will typically be the target. So the archer ended up hitting the warrior instead of the archer and the wizard because the warrior had higher threat. Even if the wizard was closer to the archer, if the warrior had more threat than that wizard, the warrior would be hit, not the archer. That's the main gist of it. Not much to show. None of that probably makes sense to most of you, but whatever. It's just a show for people who are reading the blog post and understand aggro for a little bit. Some of you are Armored Core players. But if you're interested in finding out where this tactical strategy game might information on it, go to reachingperfection.com and read some of the blog posts. I'll be covering combat, hopefully next week if I finish some diagram graphics. But right now the game's in 3D. Looks really cool. I like it. But there are some advantages that might go with going Final Fantasy Tactics style or Tactics Ogre, that isometric view. So I'm debating about making the third iteration that style. There are a lot of pros and cons to both, and we'll see what happens. I'll be posting, today's blog post is actually about which I should do. But if you're interested, check out the blog, read up. I've already posted some ideals and stuff like that. So if you want to follow, that'd be awesome. If not, whatever. This is just another video for you to ignore. Even though I haven't really posted a video in a while. But hopefully you follow and I actually do something more with this game, because I really love the concept and I hope that I can get it to a playable point. The idea is to make it asynchronous, like Words with Friends, where you submit your actions, your opponent submits their actions, and then when you get back and all the actions are there, it queues them all up and it plays the turn for you and shows you what ends up happening. And you have to make decisions based on everybody's threat and everything. Because if you look now, this warrior has a ton of threat, sitting at 110 right now. So even if the archer wanted to hit the other archer, he would either have to move way out here so that the warrior wouldn't be in his range, or they would have to find a way to reduce the threat of the warrior or kill the warrior, either way. But the idea is that it's inspired by MMOs where you play threat management, and if you over aggro, you can screw your whole party. And the warrior acts as the tank. Eventually you'd be able to customize your party, have like 3 warriors and 2 archers or necromancers or whatever you want. Tons of different classes available, but that's the goal, the idea. Right now there's just preset parties in this version. And hopefully party creations early on in the new version. I'm just in design phase and just recently broke into code, so we can hope things get better. I love how smooth this is. Might not be that smooth on the video, but I like how smooth this actually ended up being. It does run at 60 frames per second, and it's nice. It's fancy. All the animations are nice. I'm just keep talking. I'm going to end the video now, because I don't know how to end videos in a fun way. Yeah.